Hi everybody, Ken here, doing another update on the Beacon Lantern here. And it's been a while again since I've been back to it, and just wanted to show you guys a progress report on it. As we have here, I got most of the paint actually off of this thing. Now, I still have some trouble spots up around the smoke bell here, and maybe, you know, in like the corners of different things here. And so what I'm down to now is I'm basically using my picks to pick out the trouble spots. But boy, this I don't know what they used to paint this thing. But the paint must have been about a 1/16 inch on this thing. They had probably like 3 coats of paint. And the more I'm thinking about it, I probably should have just left it alone. But I mean, there was a lot of rust already coming through the paint, and I don't know. As I get more and more into this thing, I'm really discovering that the lantern's not such in great shape. I mean, it'll be okay, but it's definitely a candidate to be repainted. I mean, it's got some dents on it, and just some rust spots, and I thought about maybe just trying to clean it up and maybe put a coat of linseed oil on it and leave it natural, but I don't think it's going to get to that point. I think it's definitely going to be a candidate to repaint. There's just so many imperfections on it. In fact, what I think I'm going to do is I actually picked up a can of this textured paint. What I'm going to do is I think use that to hide all the imperfections. And not only that, but as I was working on it, I found a couple repairs that it needed. The lift mechanism here actually separated. The only thing that was holding it on was about 3 or 4 layers of that paint. So I had to actually resolder that back on. That's kind of the best I can get it. It's not the nicest solder, but if I use that textured paint, but it is solid. It's not going anywhere now. Also, there was a hole in one of the air tubes. Oh yeah. There was a hole right here that went clear through into the air tube. It almost looked like maybe this whole section of the lantern had been stressed back and forth. Maybe it caused that to separate in a hole there. So had to do a repair job on that as well. But I mean, I got the thing back to a solid form anyway. And also, while I was at it, while I still had the crown off, I cleaned the inside of the tube up here as well as I could. I got most of the rust, as much rust off as I could, and I gave it a few shots of just basic, the cheap quick color stuff that you get at Home Depot, just to help protect it from future rusting there. And yeah, so far, I mean, the other thing was in the plate here, the globe plate, just about all of these holes were filled solid with paint. So I had to carefully pop the paint out. Actually, the more I'm looking at it now, I still have one. I missed one right there. Okay, I have to get back to that. But yeah, so there was no air being supplied through here because all the holes were sealed off with that paint. And I would imagine it wouldn't have burned all that well if I had left it like that. So, but anyway, it's coming, and I gotta say, it's probably the most challenging lantern that I've ever had to work on to remove paint. I've done, I don't know, a couple dozen of these, and I never had the trouble that I had with this. I never had such thick coats of paint on there. As I don't know if it's just a couple coats or several coats, but whatever they did, it's really fighting me. But so, anyway, while we're in the lantern workshop, got a new addition to the collection. Little guy here. If we can get a shot of that. This actually is, let me show you the other side of it, called a Labay in French. I guess that's how you say it. It's got the B on there, number 76. Interesting fact about this lantern, it says made in Germany. Actually made in Germany, and it's got French writing on it. From what I gather, it was made in Germany for export to France. It was actually made to sell to France. And these are really hard to come by. It was the only one I've ever seen Came up on eBay a few weeks ago. I put a bid in and I got it. I thought it would be a neat little piece to add to the collection. And that's I guess it's about comparable to the Dietz number 76 original. In fact, I just happen to have one hanging up over here. And yeah, as you could see, same size as the number 76. So if that gives you an idea what the size of it is. And I have it fueled up, actually. I'm going to light it up for you guys. Oh, and it is a lefty for some reason, just like the 76 is. And there's not a whole lot of lanterns that are lefties, but this just so happens to be one. So yeah, let me give that a quick light. It's a little weird for me to do this on the left side, but be that as it may, it's a good little lantern. I like it. Puts out quite a bit of light, and it's a little cool out in the workshop today. That's why I'm in here. It's kind of a cold and rainy day, so getting the old Glowfrost until she warms up. But yeah, it's pretty neat. And from what it looks like, this is probably repainted. Although it's not too bad of a paint. I mean, it looks like it's been painted a long time ago. It's already got a lot of wear coming through it, but after what I'm going through with this beacon, I think I'm just going to leave this one as it is and just use it and enjoy it. And my days of doing these strip downs anymore, unless it's a real special lantern, I think are getting to be limited. Yeah, it's just too much trouble. What I actually had to do is I actually had to soak this thing down, and I put it in a Rubbermaid container, and I gave it like 4 or 5 hours with the old paint stripper here. I'm still using the citrus strip. I mean, this stuff works really well, but you got to kind of keep it wet. You don't want it to let it dry. So I just sealed it in a Rubbermaid container the other day. I coated it with this, gave it about 4 or 5 hours, and it did take a lot off. I mean, after that, it took most of all, what was left on the air tubes. And the only thing it didn't really touch too well is there's the smoke bell here. There's still quite a coating on here, and I really slathered it on good here too. So what I may have to do is just kind of sand this as smooth as I can get it, and end up just giving it a recoat, because I am just fighting this thing at this point too much. And like I said, it's got its real share of dents and rust, and it's turning out to be not a real pretty lantern anyway. So like I said, it's definitely a candidate for a repaint. I did get the logo really cleaned up. You can see the beacon logo, which is really pretty cool on both sides. I got that pretty well cleaned up. But yeah, I think we'll just give her a repaint soon. Now I'm gonna have to wait for the weather, because the forecast for the next several days is going to be cold and rainy and kind of damp. So I'm just going to take my time, work on some more of my picks, do some sanding, and then I'll have to wait for a good day, and then I'll give it a shot. Put the crown back on, and hopefully my next video, guys, will be showing you the finished product, and I'll have it lit, burning, and it should look half decent. So thank you everybody for watching, and thanks to my few new subscribers. And I wanted to give a shout out just to let anybody know, if you got any questions, feel free to put it in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer it. Thanks again. Bye bye for now.